Do you want to know the key to beautiful, consistent letters in your modern calligraphy? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the basic foundational strokes that you can practice daily to master beautiful, consistent lettering in your modern calligraphy. Hey, what's up, explorers? Eva Taylor here, your tour guide through the land of lettering, where we explore all the possibilities with hand lettering and modern calligraphy. If you're new here, or maybe if you haven't yet, consider subscribing because I share all the tips, tricks, and tutorials for hand lettering and modern calligraphy just like this. So let's get started. In this video, I'm going to cover 12 basic strokes for modern calligraphy. Now, these aren't all the basic strokes, so this will be a two-part series. It's important to understand that these basic strokes combine to make up each individual letter of the alphabet. So when you master each stroke, you'll be able to naturally and consistently write your letters and words with ease. Instead of trying to mimic different styles of calligraphy, it's best to master these basic strokes first and then learn how to stylize the basic strokes. So to begin, I'm just using my Leuchtturn 1917 bullet journal because I love the dot grid paper. You can also use any kind of grid or graph paper like Rhodia grid paper, or you can even draw your own grids. The grids are nice when practicing to help you stay consistent, but over time, you won't even need any grid paper at all because all your consistent practice will make your calligraphy writing come naturally. I believe these Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens are great for beginners to master these foundational strokes. So that's what I'm using here. So let's begin with the first basic stroke, the upstroke. The key here is to be light on your pressure on the upstroke to create the thinner lines. Practice going straight upright and then also at an angle. Because if you're like me, I like to write my calligraphy slanted. I just think it looks more beautiful than in the upright position. And you can continue writing and practicing all across your page. I just am doing a few just to demonstrate. The next stroke is the downstroke. And the key here is to add pressure to create the thicker lines as you're writing downward. Again, practice going straight down and then down at an angle. The next stroke is the entry stroke. So whether you're beginning a word or you're connecting to a new letter, this is the upward stroke, and then I'm showing how to go straight into a downstroke without picking up your pen. Next is the exit stroke. This stroke is used when you are ending a word or letter or going into an entry stroke to connect letters. Now we're going to go on to the basic stroke of the oval. This is done in a counterclockwise motion. So you're going from right to left while putting more pressure on your downstroke of the oval and then lighter pressure on the upward part of the oval. The oval is part of the letters A, C, D, kind of the E, G, O, and Q. Next is your reverse oval. So this time you're actually going clockwise. So you're going left to right, still putting pressure on your downstroke of the oval and then lighter pressure on the upward. This is used on the letters B and P. Moving on, we have the underturn. This is basically a U. So you add pressure on the downstroke and be careful to lighten your pressure right before you start the curve into the upstroke. Sometimes your U's will look wider and sometimes thinner depending on the style of calligraphy. The key is to stay consistent. So choose how wide you want to practice and try to do them the same every time. And practice in the upright and in the angled position. Next is the overturn. This time you begin with light pressure on the upstroke through the curve at the top and then start to add pressure for the downstroke shortly after the curve. Same thing with the width as on the underturns. Try to stay consistent and practice writing in the upright and angled positions. This stroke is commonly used for the letters N and M, and the reason I like to practice using different widths on the overturn is that the entry to an N and M is usually skinnier. Next is the zigzag. So you're going to go up lightly and then pressure on the down stroke, and then try to combine it and just practice doing that stroke without picking up your pen. You're going to use this stroke for letters V, W, if you want them pointy, the letter X, and you also want to practice doing the reverse zigzag. So practice going down first and then up, down, and then up. Whoops, messed up there. And then practice putting them all together and just get used to the way your pen feels and how you put the pressure downward and upward. Now we're on to the compound curve, probably the trickiest stroke to master as a beginner. But what we're going to do here is we're going to start with an upstroke. So you go thin and then you curve down into a downstroke so your pressure is thicker, and then right back up into an upstroke. Pay attention to where you are beginning and ending the thickness of that downstroke, because you don't want the curves to have a thickness at the very top. You want that still to be thin, and same thing at the very bottom. You don't want it to look like there's a puddle sitting there at the bottom of that curve. And again, practice doing it in the upright position as well as angled. This is going to be common with your letter Y. Now we're going to move on to the reverse compound curve. So this time you're going to start with a downstroke, then into an upstroke, and then back into a downstroke. So you're going to go thick and then thin up and then thick down. Again, pay attention to those curves that you don't have the puddle at the bottom of that first curve or a bunch at the top. And then practice again, upright and also angled. And so that's it for the first 12 of the Modern Calligraphy basic strokes. And in the next video, I will go over some more strokes and we'll kind of get fancy and do some loops and swashes and show you how to connect the letters.
Well, explorers, I hope you enjoyed this lesson and you found it very helpful. I hope that you can practice these strokes on a daily basis to master your calligraphy consistency. But now it's time for the question of the day. I would love to know, which stroke do you feel is the easiest for you and which one is the most challenging and the one you'd like to practice more to master? Let me know in the comments below. If you love this tutorial, I would love for you to like, comment, and share, and be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any future videos with all the tips, tricks, and tutorials for hand lettering and modern calligraphy. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Oh wait, time for bloopers!